Hello once again everybody, welcome back. This is going to be a different video from normal. This is a little thing called the powder toy. I saw this featured in a YouTube video years ago, absolute years ago. It's not so much a game, it's more of a simulation. So right now we've got heat mode activated, so we'll use this to remove that layer from the info. So right now, you probably don't know what's going on here. So these down here are all the different types of tools. And down here then you have the actual tools themselves. Now, this one here is favorites. So these are the ones that I tend to use most. So basic wall, of course, blocks everything. So I can just dump that down there, make a bit of a bowl. Go on to powders then. Dust is fairly normal type of powder. You just sprinkle it in and you can see it falls down and there's air currents modelled. So if you have an awful lot of stuff falling here, it creates a bit of pressure down here that'll sort of push up. Then of course one of the funnest things to do is ignite stuff and blow stuff up. So we got some fire. We know that dust is flammable, so we can set that on fire. It doesn't really burn that well. Like this, I mean you can nip along like this. And there we go, it's still burning. Lovely. What we can do, we'll get some oil, shall we? So those are gases. That's liquid, so we'll grab some oil. I'll pour the oil in there. Now what's happening is it's touching this stuff here, which is hot, and it is it's changing into gas. We can ignite all of that, and we get a huge plume of fire. So let's get some more things going on. Oh, that's just going straight away. It's because it's hot. It's still kind of hot there. You see that ambient temperature? Yeah, it's still pretty hot. So what we'll do is so we'll make it rain a bit. So we'll put some water into the air. It comes down and it mixes with the hot air that's still down here. We will put the heat map on. There we are. You can see it. It's pretty hot around here. So we'll run some water around like that. And there we are. So around the edge of the screen, there's a void zone. So you can see up here, you can see how it gets colder as it reaches there. It's because the edge of the screen, it sort of sucks pressure away. And it equalizes temperature to room temperature. Anyway, so we've got a lot of water here. I'm trying to think, what should we do? Some explosives. We'll get some C4 out. There we go. It's all nice and solid. No problem there. Bit of fire. Kaboom! There we go. So we'll use this tool now to erase this wall. So everything could just fly away. See all this steam like that. What we can also do is we can change gravity to be radial. So this will now make things act as if it's a planetary system. So there we go. We've got a little blue planet. We'll get some more dust and just sprinkle that down, and it starts to accrete. Very nice. What we can then do is we'll put a wall around everything. Nice thick wall, just to make sure that stuff doesn't leak. So the pressure doesn't equalize and the temperature doesn't equalize. Nice thick wall. There we are. We can now turn off gravity and see what happens there. There we go. Everything starts to dissociate. It starts to float around. We'll turn this off now. And it all just sort of mixing. So we will insert some gas. So as we spray that in, it creates a bit of pressure. It's basically an elemental simulator, particle simulator, that kind of thing. There's all sorts of really weird interactions you can get going on. Let's get my fire going again. So that ignites that. It's kind of catching a bit. It's just all flying around. There's still a bit of flame there. Still a bit of flame there. But yeah, see, the pressure has increased now. And you can see possibly that yeah, that gas is now converted back into oil because it's under pressure. It's not under a huge amount of heat, but it's under the pressure. So we'll put gravity back on. That's edge mode. There's gravity, radial. There we go. So it'll all start to settle back down into a sphere, depending on pressure and things. So we've got this sort of sticking up like that. That's actually quite cool. We can burn that off. You see the oil ignite across the surface of our water planet, and there we go. So start a new one. Right, yeah, what I want to show you is the kind of weird interactions you have. So we'll do this. We'll get some hydrogen. It's this one here. You see, it undergoes fusion at high temperature and pressure. It also combusts with oxygen to make water. So we'll put some of that in. We'll put some oxygen in. And then we'll ignite it. Kaboosh. And all that there is water vapor. So we will extend this now to the outside edge. Make it a thin wall so that we can relieve the pressure and the temperature without getting rid of any of the particles of steam, water vapor. So that's going to go up here. It's going to cool down. I mean, it's 600 odd degrees. It might take a little while. But yeah, it'll cool down and it'll start to essentially rain. But all of this down here is pretty hot. So we'll do this. You can see how hot all this air is down here. So yeah, it'll take a while, unfortunately. We've got cool. We've got a cool option, but that only works on elements. So I could do this and I could cool that down manually. Get that really cold. There we go. It's starting to freeze in midair. But yeah, it doesn't work on the air. So it only works on stuff. There we go. Let's see, where's the tool? It's not what we want. Special, that's it. Erase particles. So let's scroll and make that bigger. Just erase all of this. That's all fine. Put our wall back in. We'll make it small because we don't want a huge amount of space to deal with here. So we'll fill that with hydrogen again. And this time we're going to make things very, very hot, very, very compressed. So do that. You can see it's going through green. It's going to orange. And it's turning purple now. There we go. So that's really incredibly hot. So that should be there now. That's 9,700 degrees C. That's the maximum pressure. It's the maximum pressure that we can have. So we've got the air on it now. So there we go. It undergoes fusion. And there we are. So we will do that, undo that. There's so much pressure and so much heat in there. It's unbelievable. It seems to have fused into oxygen. Look at that. A little bit of CO2 down there for some reason. Anyway, let's get fire, because oxygen can burn for some reason. I've got no idea why. I've got no idea why at all. There we go. We've not got many particles here now at all. So this is all super, super hot. Super, super hot. So we've got some solids. Get something like gold and just put a bit there. You can see it just melts. It just melts because it's so hot. Titanium, a much higher melting point, but that still melts over there in the red bit. Does it melt over here? No, it's not. It's standing up to the green. But you can see it's starting to get red hot. Now it's kind of melting there. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's absorbed enough heat now to actually melt. So you can have quite a bit of fun with this. I'll show you some of the... see if there's anything interesting going on here. Have a look at something else. There's thousands of these. People do artwork. Yeah, they do all sorts of stuff. There's also these destroyable cities. People like making underground bunkers. And there we go. As you can see, things are running. I quite like just dumping lava. Just dump some lava on the thing. It's just hot rock. When it cools down, it'll turn into stone. So you see some over here, that's just stone. Acid just dissolves everything. Of course, it's very hot over there. Well, there we are. Yeah, virus. A virus is interesting because it spreads. There we go. It converts anything it touches into more virus. And it is also apparently flammable. So you've got a solid version over here. There we go. It's all gone, just with a virus. So it's plutonium. It's heavy, fissile, generates neutrons under pressure. So presumably you've got to really whack it. Right. Oh, it's a powder. Right. Fine. Never mind. We'll go for vibranium. Is also slightly different. Has no real word counterpart. This will store energy, like heat and pressure, until it reaches enough, and then it will just explode. So we'll apply some heat. Apply some heat. Apply some heat. And you'll see the temperature there is now going down. That temperature thing there. Temperature is going down as it is absorbed, and it starts to glow. Right, so it's that temporary variable, the one here, that you're looking at. So if you apply more heat, the actual temperature itself goes down. So we've triggered the thing now. So the life counter is now ticking down. And you can see it's starting to ripple, and then kaboosh. And you can see that all this has now been triggered, but this stuff hasn't. So this is exotic matter, which is all sort of rainbowy and glowy and quite pretty, actually. And there we go. That's starting to... it's exploding really, really slowly. You see, if you set this off all at once, it just goes kaboom completely. So there's some reactions going on still. Kapoop. Just little individual pops going off. Yeah, you can see them start to flash. They'll go any minute now. So we're going to get some more of that. Just a bit like that. And what we'll do this time is we'll apply the heat to the entire length of the thing. So we should get it triggered all at once. A bit more this end. We don't want it to trigger at one end over the other, really. It's not so bad. I mean, it's pretty even. There we go. There's a little bit of progress this way, but it's not huge. That's going to explode pretty much at precisely the same time. There we are. Just a massive explosion, lots of heat, lots of pressure. And we're just waiting for the pressure to die down. There we are. It's really weird. It's really weird what happens to the pressure. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed that, remember to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.